Welcome back to Satisfactory. Coffee. I hate coffee. I honestly, I mean, it's cliche British, but yeah, prefer tea. Anyway, nuclear power. Next milestone at the top right of the screen. We have a few things to make for that. I did just complete the hazmat suit research, and also something else that gave me one from the MAM that gave me one additional hand slot, so I have a little bit more space in my inventory. Otherwise, there is lots of other stuff still to get. So with that in mind, we're on to nuclear power. To make the hazmat suit, we need to make fabric as well, by the way. I don't think we've even made any fabric, so I'm not even sure how it's supposed to be made. But we'll have to actually look into that. I'm sure someone in the comments will put it down there if I don't anyway. But yeah, so let's get on with the next thing. So that is making these two items. This one on the left, this one on the right. Both of those need quick wire. We've already got it being made over there somewhere. What I may well do is move it and bring it down perhaps on some kind of belt alongside these. Excuse me, and bring it over here to this side of the factory. Because I'm sort of running out of space without completely covering the lake up, and I don't really want to cover the lake up. It's quite naturally beautiful, and yeah, I just want to leave them as is. And I also need space for the water extractors. Aside from that creature just standing in the middle of it, ruining everything, and that looks like another slug there in the middle. Yeah, underwater, but looks like another slug. So there's our quick wire over there. Then we need to come over here because we're going to need cable. We're going to need circuits. Electronic circuits. So all the stuff that we have here, basically, this and some of these, is the same stuff that we're going to need for the ingredients at the top right. And of course we need computers and modular frames. They take ages to actually make by comparison, so yeah, I've got like 23 computers and I need 200. That's not going to be today, but maybe some of the other ingredients are. So let's get to actually constructing them and get started. So I'm going to put down some foundations, bring you back for constructing a few buildings. Okay, a little while later, I've done a lot of rearranging, so all of our aluminium's going on this nice belt now. It's going 90-degree corners, remember, 90-degree corners. Yeah, all right, that all isn't 90 degrees yet. Don't worry, we'll get there. Anyway, we've got the coal coming in that way and heading off where it did before. However, now I've put up a building and moved the infrastructure from over there from making quick wire. Basically erased that entire concrete ramp that I put up all the way over there, and it's all gone back, and they're all coming over this side of the lake to here where the Caterium ore comes in. And on this side we've got the machinery for it, so we've got our usual kind of splitters. Oh, and one thing I did want to cover actually, I've been just not covering this. I keep on forgetting to actually cover it. Smart splitters. So I need to actually build the AI limiters to make myself a smart splitter. So that's going to be next up, AI limiters, which is the first thing on the top left, top right of the screen. So we've got quick wire here, and we can take that into the next building. So here is our quick wire. Okay, so there from this building, this is a 3x4 at the moment. I may need to expand it before actually building the stuff in there. We will see. We need to basically build the production. So we want an assembler. It has 2 inputs, so let's just pop you down. Let's just put it down, I don't know, let's put it halfway across, something like this. Yeah, and a little bit of space away from the wall. There we go. And in here we can choose AI limiters. Now you can handcraft these if you wanted to, but you know, we have them available, so we may as well actually not handcraft them. And indeed, we have quick wire and copper sheet. Of course, we have both here. So we're going to be able to bring one in sort of here, and the other one will have to go elevated and get pulled in. That may well be something I may want to just keep elevated and bring it down. You know, bring this at one level or something like that. I'm not quite decided yet anyway, but we do need the copper sheet for the other part of it. So let's go and take a look. The copper sheet is over there, and let's just see if, I think it's this closest building. Kind of handily. Yeah, here it is. See? It's the copper sheet. And we can then basically split it and head straight that away with some of that. And we're going to probably... How's the best way to do this? Well, we can probably split it here, to be honest. Can we actually get a splitter? Conveyor splitter? We can. Too sharp of a point there. we'll need to just split that off a little bit earlier. So why don't we just split it off over here somewhere. Yep. And then I'll bring it over as before. Just get rid of this. Don't need this equipment workshop anymore. I'll bring it over and get into that building. So we'll need to go in probably on the right hand side just to make sure that happens. I'll reroute it and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, all done. So we have a conveyor splitter right here. We can just snap into place. And one up there. Well, I can't really snap it into exactly the right place, but that should be close enough for this. And one going in, another one going in, and that should be all the inputs. Yep. You're going to need some power, which will connect up. We've got a power line coming in over here. It's going past this building, so we're probably just going to need to split it off, and then we can just put it upstairs. So let's just get that into a nice place for the walls, maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, now I'm running out of iron plates. Do I have enough for a power pole at least? Power double-sided wall pack? Yeah, that's fine. And if we put that sort of same position as the next building along, that will do. How about a power pole? Yeah, that seems about right. So as long as that's in the right place there. And we'll end that one, and then just have this be passing power through. There we go. And I've got 2 cable left. Let's just connect that on the inside. Okay, and that's going to feed in materials. There it goes. And it'll produce 5 AI limiters per minute. And I should have room, I think, for a second one. Obviously, I can move this over a little bit if I need to. I left this away from the wall because of this exact problem when you've got buildings like this. So do bear that in mind. Don't jam it right against the wall if you need to get one elevated. You can, of course, go straight to lifts. You know, if you want to do conveyor lifts right here and go up one, then across, you can do that as well. No problem. Just convenient not to sometimes. So there will be room for another one there, no doubt. And I think, well, in fact, let's have a look. Production assembler. Do I need to move this? Floor's too steep, encroaching another clearance. Why is that encroaching another clearance? What am I actually encroaching? I shouldn't be. But yet I am. Okay, well, we can always move it later if I need to. For the time being, we got some AI limiters. Cool, so does that mean I can now build a smart splitter just temporarily? Yeah, look at that. Okay, smart splitter it is. And then we can configure said smart splitter. So, left output, we can filter. Good. Okay, so this allows us basically to do the same thing as Factorio. We can basically select a filter to have a mixed belt going on. If you really wanted a mixed belt, you can collapse the number of belts, I suppose, or have multiple things going out of one building. Cool. And center output, fine. Do the same thing, and then right output. Alternatively, there seems to be some other options as well, which is, yeah, do I want none? Yeah, I can split that off so there's no output whatsoever. Interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that yet, because I tend to build things to be manifolds rather than by splitters, so balancers. If you don't know what I mean by manifolds versus balancers, Factorio has balancers. So if you, well, people in Factorio tend to make balancers. So if you want 2 machines, let's just say we had 2 parallel sets of these, or 3 parallel sets of these, you would build basically this to be a balancer that basically feeds in 3 equal lines into each one of these 3 machines. So they all produce at the same rate, and on the other side, you have 3, well, pretty much equal outputs. Manifolds, on the other hand, you don't care. You really just don't care. You basically put them just exactly like this, and it'll split if it can, and it'll send into this machine if it can. As soon as this machine fills up and everything backs up, everything carries on down the belt, and away you go. Really handy to have manifolds to be able to use them, and the only downside to them is that it takes a while for the system to fill up if they're coming on an input belt, and once everything's turned off, i.e. if I actually cut off the input there, it takes a while for it to basically all finish manufacturing and feed out to the other side. I don't care about that delay. I'm absolutely fine with it. So, yeah, AI splitters it is. So that's the first thing we needed. and it's going to be able to be made really quite quickly. Remember, you can actually handcraft these ones if you want to. I just want a building to do so. So the next thing is, unfortunately, the more expensive one. Manufactory, do I have? No, I'm going to need some other bits and pieces. I'm going to need some plastic. I'm going to need some more cable, and that's pretty much it. I think I've got both of those right here. Let's go and grab some plastic and some cable. Plastic, cable, job done. The other thing it needs is a manufacturer, I believe. So let's just put that down for a second. Yes, high-speed connector. Okay, so it needs circuit boards, it needs cable, and it needs quick wire. Now, we've already got the quick wire. We can pass it straight through a building into the next building, which means we need to get cable in there. We need to get circuit boards in there, both of which we have right here. Now, of course, that manufacturer is gigantic. So we could put it inside a building, but at the same time, is it really worth it? I mean, you need a gigantic building to have inputs and outputs. And of course, you have 4 of them. So what I may well do is just put a manufacturer alongside that building. Hopefully, there's one fit before we get to the train track, maybe. And then we'll have one of the inputs coming straight through that building, coming from this building. And then the other 2 inputs we want to split off from here. So we need to split off a cable somewhere. And that does mean we need probably some other way of doing this. And we also need to split off circuit boards. So what I was just wondering is if we could go for splitters. And let's just get those. And we can split them off wherever we like, but I'm going to split them off close to here. Like that. Okay. And instead, will it let me... Oh, I'm going to need some more iron plates. Bear with me, 1 second. Yep, got the iron sheet, and just got a couple of splitters off here. Sort of, well, it's not really a main bus, but you get the same idea from Factorio, whereby you sort of split things off in one direction. However, because we've got 3 dimensions to play with, it's perfectly fine to send them up and over. And then, of course, you can have stuff like this, and then those both go onto stackable conveyor belts. Of course, that means less sort of horizontal space used, more vertical space used. This needs to be reworked, obviously. That may be clipping a little bit, not so much cheating, but we've got a manufacturer over here whereby we can power you up. Okay, and choose what we want, which is the high-speed connectors right here. And there it is. It's filling it with quick wire. We now need to fill it with cable and circuit board, of which cable is going to be the easiest one. Circuit board, we don't really make enough yet, which we can just scale up the building. And that will get that going. So we're going to bring those over here, I think, and see if we can get something reasonable in terms of looking. I think we're going to be able to do that with the stackable poles, just by having the first one be pulled, the top one be pulled off first and into the machine, and then the next one pulled off second and into the machine. So let me get that sorted. And that's that done, so you can see everything is pouring in now, and this, we've got 16 circuit boards coming in. Basically 3.75 per minute it can deal with coming in, and 3.8 parts going out. So if you supply the input, it will keep up with only really the circuit boards. Everything else is going to get used up, obviously, if we can actually manage it. So yep, that's perfectly fine, because the circuit boards, as far as I'm concerned, are going to be the slowest things to make anyway. And that means we've got high-speed connectors, so we've got that done as well. So we need 50 of each. That's not run out of power, is it? Nope, nope. So that's going to take it a little while. In fact, if it's 4 parts per minute, assuming we can even keep up, then it's going to be like, I don't know, 12 minutes or something like that to get this all done. At least for that side of things. And how about the AI limiters? That's going to be in here. We should... I'm not putting them anywhere, but I should be able to pick them up. That's enough there. That's enough to make the milestone, the nuclear power one. Which leaves just, I don't know, 12, 13 minutes to get some of these. Assuming I don't run out of circuit boards. If I can't supply that many, then I need to go and obviously improve the other buildings other than that. And of course, everything is still dependent on the computers and the heavy modular frames, of which I would very much imagine it's the heavy modular frames that's going to get there first, leaving the computers probably until next episode. You see there we've got 10 circuit boards. We need 37.5 a minute to keep this thing happy. And remember, half of them are now going across to that, just by virtue of things being split up like that. We've got 36 computers. I need probably another 140 then. So yeah, I need to consider how to speed up this. And this is a problem because circuit boards, the major shortcoming is plastic. The major shortcoming with being plastic means it's basically all the other end. It's all down the oil refinery end. So heading back to the main area of the base now, while stuff starts piling up for me. There's lots of different stuff I want down here. You can see a lot of these, the MAM sort of research topics. Supercomputers, they just need air limiters and high-speed connectors and computers. So that's possible. That will lead on to the programmable splitter and whatever's down here in this node. I've got PowerPole Mark IIIs. They are also high-speed connectors, and here, rather nicely, we've got another set of 5 inventory sockets to actually get that way. We can probably, I would have thought, get more inventory. Yeah, here we go. So 5 inventory slots, and that's 5 minutes worth there. That just needs lots of alien organs that you just keep collecting as you kill things you go around, and then 2,000 copper wire. Start research. So that's another basically 5 inventory slots there. Good. I like that. The more inventory slots, the better, as far as I can just drag around everything I need to. And that's pretty good. I do want to just check there. We don't have everything we need for this yet, so that's going to be coming up fairly soon as well. Let's just go and quickly check how many heavy modular frames has the factory made while I've been basically extending the other side of the lake. What have we got over here? We've got 39 on top of whatever I've got in my inventory, which makes 47 total. Yeah, so that again is probably going to be another 100 or so, another 80 or 90 or something like that. We'll get going. So I need to go and optimize the oil refinery. I'll go and see where the problem is. And there's nothing specifically wrong down here. I did check. Everything is being produced. There's nothing shut down. Oh, God, I need to rearrange this to look like we were talking about last episode. It's going to annoy me. But, yeah, everything is working fine. For example, all of this... here we go. You see heavy oil residue. All of it is being reprocessed back into residual fuel. So that's going to go back that way. We don't in fact need that, do we? Because it's going to go another way, and we're going to use it elsewhere. We're going to use it for coal. Is the coal backed up though? So if I remove this, will we have extra? There it is. And how much is in our freight platform? Because we could probably just leave it in here, at least for now. Yeah, there's plenty of room in there to be dealt with. So instead of just processing it into residual fuel or sharing it with the coal generation, we could just basically separate the two entirely and then not worry about it. So that residual fuel can come off. Let's just go and grab that and just run around here. I need to go and just basically get some stairs or something. There we go. So you can come out. And that's fine, or should be fine. Yeah, I don't need that or any of this, so that can come out. Everything should look nicer now. There we go. And I'm not sure if I showed you this before, but when I resolved the power problem, I did it by splitting off the crude oil that's coming in. And each crude oil is basically now split rather than anything else, and they're going into independent... here we go, independent refineries, which is producing the fuel. Each refinery then outputs onto its own independent line of fuel onto fuel generators. So I think the rule is something like one of these to about 4 fuel generators. I'm not sure of the exact amounts, but I think it's something like that. Someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. It's roughly right anyway. And of course here we can then just get rid of this. That just leaves me another room, if you like, for another refinery here being pulled from this pipe. That specifically is the crude oil pipe, which is sort of low. Is it low? What point is it low? Is it low here? No, it's full there. Yep. So we just need another pump, maybe? It's getting a little bit low there. A little bit low there, and then almost nothing. Flow rate is low, high. Not Now the flow rate's changing there as well. Fine, so we can put another pump in if we want to, or if we can do, and then I can just put another refinery in. That'll make even more plastic, and around we'll go. So between the episodes, I'm going to reformat this. It all looks like we did last episode to look a lot nicer. If I have enough room down there, may just have enough room to actually get everything underneath, because I need another layer of foundations ideally. If I just put something down here, yep, there is room for another layer. So that just means I can get everything nicely attached to a floor area. There we go. And it should all look quite nice. Although it isn't on the same grid pattern as the rest of the base. But hey, you know, we've got to rebuild this over time anyway. Over time, I'm probably going to move all of those over that way somewhat and have them all producing power. You know, I'll build them independently first over there, and then we'll reroute the oil and get everything producing more power, so we don't end up with any brownouts in the rest of our base and we pull it back. So yeah, we're sort of limited on plastic. That's going to have to be me for another episode again, scaling that up. I don't want to take too much time. I'm running out of time for today. Yeah, so I'm going to need to head back to the base. Next up, more research in the MAM while we're at it. In here we want alien organisms, object scanner improvements, we just need the object scanner itself, some stators, and some crystal oscillators. We haven't made the crystal oscillators, but we are already making the crystals themselves, the quartz crystals, so we can actually make a few of those. So why don't I just make them over here. Just 2 will do, I think. So you get 2 for this, it looks like you do. I hope it was 2 for the research, otherwise I'm going to have to make another one. Alien organisms. Oh, I need 5. Okay, I need to go and get some more quartz crystals. Back in a second. There we go. Enough quartz, basically resonators to do that, whatever they're actually called. I think they're called resonators. Oscillators, sorry. Yes, analysis is complete. Good. And hostile organism detection. Well, that looks like it's got to take no time at all as well. So yes, we can do that too. Is there anything else I can actually do in here? I don't really want the rebar gun. Next thing is we're going to really want the gun. We want the sulfur line, and the sulfur line gets, well, we get it as part of, well, we're finding sulfur of course, but we can do that via the nuclear power. We'll get that ability of the scanner to go and find sulfur, and that will then be researched and open up a new line in the MAM. So if you find sulfur already, go bring it back, and you've probably already got the explosives line. So yeah, plenty of stuff to go. Alright, so let's go and see if all that's complete. I've got all the AI emitters I need. Right now, down at the other end, it's turning out to be more of a matter of I don't have enough sort of infrastructure for the quick wire yet. So I need to scale that more than just a single line to keep everything running at full speed, or at least as close to full speed as I can actually get right now. So there isn't quite room in the building for 3 of these, not because of the smelters. The smelters would actually fit 3 quite easily. It's these, the constructors. They're just a little bit too large. You can see they're pretty much more than one of these blocks. So if you wanted to do that, I have to extend this building 1 more. I could do it, but not too concerned right now. This will already double everything that we've got. So another merger will do. Let's just go here, turn around, and pop that down. There we go, and just select everything up. So a quick wire, Caterium, and then I've got these on the inside, so we can just quickly connect up to both of them. There we go. There it goes. Okay, so everything is there that we need to, and that's going to double the output of Caterium, or rather, quick wire. That will feed into here. Feed me even more AI limiters I don't need just yet. But more importantly, they'll build up and hopefully should head that way. So yeah, we could even disconnect this for the moment if we really wanted to. Regardless, that's going to feed into here. Yeah, and hopefully we have enough to feed in to be pretty good. However, I do already have a bunch of quick wire anyway, so I've got lots in a storage container over there. Everything else has been taken out, but the storage container is still there, and it's full of quick wire. So I can just shortcut it this way, and you can see I've got 82 circuit boards. So that should be more than enough, and I should be able to get all of these, which will leave our heavy modular frames and our computers, which is just the same as before for previous sets of research. So you don't need to see any of that, do you? And yeah, so that's done for now. I think I'm going to bring you back next episode, so when we open up nuclear power, and that means I'll be going scanning and looking for sulfur. If you know of any sulfur near this particular starting location, feel free to put it in the comments for other people who are watching along. Of course, I'm going to scan for it next episode, and then what we're also going to do is look at what the build requirements are for the nuclear power stuff. Last thing, also, because this tier of stuff that we're making right now lets us unlock supercomputers, so even slower than making computers, supercomputers are additional stuff on top of that. I think with rubber and other products as well that we're going to need. Here's my whole storage container full of quickwire. Yeah, supercomputers are in here, so let's take a look. They're in Caterium. They are supercomputers, so they need more high-speed connectors, but I've got everything else apart from the computers, and that will lead on to other stuff. So yeah, we've got more stuff to do, clearly. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll get you to come back next episode if you're following along. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, you're more than welcome to, and click on the bell for notifications. Why is that box there? Click on the bell for notifications for more episodes. There is a playlist for all of the Satisfactory Season 2 and indeed Season 1. So there's more than enough episodes, hopefully, to keep you guys hooked for all the episodes. So hopefully, we'll see you next time. As always, guys, thanks for watching.